Firstly, apologies for the 15-minute delay. No, I don't think that we need to look at any series differently. As I mentioned in Sri Lanka as well, your preparation should matter more than who you're playing against. So obviously you will assess strengths and weaknesses of all sides. But as I've said before, you can't raise or decrease your intensity according to who you're playing against. That's not being fair to the sport, and that's something that we as a team do not believe in. So we like to prepare the same way, and we like to play with the same kind of intensity regardless of who we are playing against.
Captain, first of all, let me wish you luck on behalf of all of us. And I want to know, given the kind of batting riches you are in a position to juggle in ODIs especially, what is your plan for Rahul, who is a great talent and you have rated him very highly? And given that he has been batting in the middle order, what kind of challenge it is for a new ball player who faces a new ball to playing in the middle order? How much opportunities will he get?
I think if you look to bat in the position that you bat in one format in all formats, then it can get very difficult for the team to find the right kind of balance, including that player. So I think players need to adapt to what the team requirement is more often. And for example, I've opened in T20 cricket as well, so I would do that any day if there's a guy in the middle order who's going to strengthen the middle order. So I should be flexible enough to do that. Or one-day cricket as well. I batted at 4, I batted atop the order as well. So I think it's up to the player to get versatile in a manner that he can take up different positions, what the team requires him to do. So it takes time. I'm not saying it's easy, because if you see Jinx as well, he's played in the middle order ODI cricket. He plays in middle order for in test matches, and then he's opened a lot in the ODIs as well. So he also felt that he found it difficult to switch. So now we are backing Jinx at the top of the order, so he knows his plans are clear. So once you get that balance with giving that player more chances, then he gets more confident of his role in the team. Till then, obviously, Manish is there as well, Kedar is there as well. So there'll be always competition for a particular spot. But KL is a outstanding talent. He's proved himself in all formats, and he's someone who needs to be backed, because we believe that he has the ability. Once he gets his role done, and then he'll start winning new games, and we're very sure of that.
Sir? So many formators are happy that have started the process of identifying players for the World Cup and things like that. You have been a great advocate of 5-bowler theory in Test cricket. In the limited overs version, will it be 3 bowlers and 2 bowling all-rounders?
Could be, possibly. A lot of teams are heading that way. You need depth in batting, you need depth in bowling as well. And I think those 2 all-rounders provide that kind of balance for you. That's why we have someone like Hardik or Akshar in the team, or Jadeja when he's a proper left-arm all-rounder. So I think you need to identify at least 2 of those guys for your side to have more strength in both the departments. And that's something that all of the sides around the world are going to move towards, because of the strength it gives you in both departments, as I mentioned, along with the guy being a top fielder as well. That's very, very important. So you need a proper all-rounder, not just a bowling and a batting all-rounder. So that's something that we have focused on, and that's paid good dividends to us in the last series as well. That's something that we'll look to continue with. That really gives us a good balance.
Thanks. Sir?
Virat, like 47 international hundreds, what is it that is helping break away from the pack when it comes to numbers and centuries? And does this 100, does it ever play on your mind somewhere deep? Because for us, 10 years of Virat Kohli and that number will be reached.
I don't play for the 3-figure mark. Maybe that's why I end up crossing it more times, because I'm not thinking of it. So I don't put myself under pressure in terms of I need to achieve a landmark. For me, what's most important is to win the game for the team. As I've said before, even if I'm 98 not out, I don't mind. If I'm 99 not out, I don't mind, as long as we win the game. In that process, things end up happening, because you want to stay till the end, and if there's enough runs on the board, you end up achieving those landmarks, because you're thinking of the end result, not about you reaching the landmark. So my motivation has never been that. It will never be that. Whatever time I play, 10 years, 8 years, 12 years, whatever it is, I will never think of that because it just doesn't come to me naturally. For me, what's most important is how I can help the team win with the bat in the field, giving my 120% every time I step onto the field and preparing accordingly. That I think is more important for me than the personal landmark if I end up achieving them. They feel good afterwards because yes, you have scored runs and you've made the team win, but you can't start off thinking about those things because you lose the ultimate goal, which is to win the game for the team.
Thank you. Last call, Sydney.
India Australia, apart from serving high quality affairs, we've also seen tensions going on happening during the test series also. Playing a high quality opposition that is so mentally and physically training that makes a player lose cool or
I don't think so. See, you can say what you want, you can keep talking the whole time, but if you don't deliver on the field, it doesn't matter. So I think all those things are just, to get that aspect of mind games and all those sort of things going, which I think creates an excitement for the fans watching as well. And also the players involved in the series, that becomes more exciting and players are more pumped up to, win games and outdo each other. So I don't think that it boils down to mental and physical fatigue because once you've done something for so many years and you played high intensity, difficult series so many times, I don't think that is a factor that comes into play because you should be physically and mentally fit enough to be calm in pressure situations when you're executing your skill. So I don't think those things are something that lead to this side of the game. I feel that intense competition should be there for the game to have that sort of excitement and keep this game alive. I think it's very important to have that competitiveness in every series that you play.
Last three.
The last time India Australia played here, the bowlers from both sides didn't quite enjoy their time, perhaps. So as a captain, how do you think you can ensure, or what do you think is the way they can avoid a similar fate? Because even as recently as the England series, where there were high-scoring games, so what do you think, especially the fast bowlers? So what do you think is the way you don't have such high-scoring games?
Look, if it's happening on both sides, then obviously you have to understand that the wicket's really good to play, and even saving 10 to 15 runs in an important phase in those games can actually make the difference. So you don't need to start off thinking we need to bowl a side out on 250 or 260 if the wicket's really good to bat on, because then you're setting expectations which might not be achieved. I think you have to be realistic in terms of how many runs can be scored on this pitch and how many can we give less than that for us to give ourselves an advantage when we bat. So I think those things you have to keep in mind. The game is moving so rapidly that even in Test cricket you see runs scored at 4 and over throughout the day without losing too many wickets. So the skill level of the batsman obviously has changed according to how the game is moving on so quickly with T20 coming in, and obviously the effect of that is going to be on the other formats as well. I don't think you can pressurize the bowlers too much in that regard, but where there's a situation of picking up wickets and they have assistance from the pitch, you will see low scoring games as well. So look, the two new balls coming in, especially in the subcontinent, becomes difficult for the bowlers without getting reverse swing early on to get wickets at regular intervals, especially fast bowlers. They just have to be smart in patches, I guess, to get the totals down.
Thanks. Last two, sir.
Virat, having two spinners in the side, how excited are you about the prospect of playing both of them? What we saw in Sri Lanka last match. Is it tempting for you to play both of them against those?
It's a great advantage to have two spinners in your team, and especially when both are so different from each other, and both can pick up wickets in the middle overs. I think that is the most important thing in one-day cricket. If you can have as many dot balls as you want, but if you don't pick up wickets, then you can go at 12 and over as well for a good 10-12 over period. So I think it's very important to keep picking up wickets and have breakthroughs throughout, and those two guys have provided that to us, and they're very confident coming into this series. They are in a zone that they don't mind getting hit as long as they pick up 3-4 wickets, which I think is a very good space to be in, and it's something that gives me as a captain a lot of confidence.
Last row, sir.
Raj, this question is on your relationship with the fans. I'm referring to yesterday. Long TV shoot followed by long practice.
For the kids, yes. The incentives that come with the kids, I'm not too sure of that, but I don't want to disappoint children when I see them, because someone can get inspired at some stage and do something productive. So I always look to sign autographs and do pictures for the kids, but then the add-ons obviously come along and then it gets a bit difficult. But yeah, for kids I always start.
Thank you everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.